Day 1, the sun's brightness dropped less than 1%. Day 7, temperatures are falling. Day 14, crops are dying. The sun is fading. No one knows why. Day 1, Mauna Loa Solar Observatory. Dr. Sarah Chen stares at the radiometer's digital readout, the sun's output down by 1%. Not a blip, not a cloud. The number holds steady. She checks the backup sensor. Same result. A third instrument, isolated, confirms it. The sun is dimmer by 13 watts per square meter. That is as much as the entire swing of the 11-year solar cycle, except overnight. She calls the on-duty engineer. They recalibrate. They repeat the measurement with an older cavity radiometer, a design unchanged since the 1970s. No drift, no error. The numbers match. By noon, Dr. Chen sends an encrypted alert to NASA and the World Radiation Center in Davos. Within 6 hours, Source TIM in orbit and SOHO's Virgo instrument echo the same reading, 1% loss globally. No instrument failure, no solar storm, no sunspots. The sun's surface looks normal, but its total energy is falling. Day 2. The team checks for cosmic dust, interplanetary clouds, calibration errors. Parker Solar Probe data is clean. Helioseismology from SDO shows no change in the solar core. Ground stations in Hawaii, Switzerland, and Australia all report the same drop. By day 3, the loss deepens to 1.5%. The world's solar constant is now 1,340 watts per square meter. A micro-explainer flashes across news feeds. 1% less sunlight means a drop of 0.5 degrees Celsius globally within a week. The last time the sun dimmed even a tenth of that, rivers froze and harvests failed. This time, the change is real, measured, and accelerating. Dr. Chen's logbook records the moment. Confirmed. The sun is fading. No explanation. Day 7. The sun's brightness has dropped by 2%. Not just in Hawaii, now every solar observatory on Earth confirms it. Switzerland, Australia, Antarctica, and the ISS all report the same number, a loss of 27 watts per square meter. No instrument drift, no calibration error. The solar constant, once unshakable, has slipped. The temperature follows. Global mean surface readings show a 0.5 degree Celsius drop. That's not just a statistic. In Berlin, the first frost comes weeks early. In Tokyo, cherry trees hold their blossoms tight, refusing to bloom. Across the Midwest, farmers scan the sky at noon, puzzled by the pale, diluted sunlight. It feels like late autumn, but the calendar says April. Scientists scramble for answers. They check every known cause: sunspots, coronal holes, cosmic dust. Nothing fits. The sun's surface looks unchanged. Helioseismology data from SDO shows no hint of trouble in the core. Solar neutrino flux is steady. The mystery deepens. A sidebar flashes across news feeds. Betelgeuse, the red giant in Orion, dimmed by 2/3 in 2019. Astronomers explained it was just a dust veil, not a dying star. But this is different. The sun is not Betelgeuse. Our star is middle-aged, stable, with 5 billion years left, supposedly immune to sudden change. Social media fills with analogies. Some call it the Great Dimming. Others whisper about the Maunder Minimum, when the Thames froze solid. But this is faster, and the numbers are already bigger. The world begins to realize the sun's decline is real, and it is accelerating. Day 25, 9%. The world's farms begin to die. Wheat and rice fields from Iowa to India turn pale, stalks stunted, leaves curling under a sky that never brightens. In Kansas, a farmer stands ankle-deep in mud, watching corn seedlings blacken after a frost that should never have come. By day 30, the sun's output has fallen by 10%. The thermometer reads 5 degrees colder than normal. The models are blunt. At 10% dimming, 1/3 of the world's food supply is gone. No region is spared. Maize fails in the Midwest. Rice paddies in China and Vietnam stand empty, their water sheets reflecting a weak, colorless light. Greenhouses flicker with emergency LEDs, but there is not enough power, not enough fuel. Dr. Sarah Chen sits in her office surrounded by crop yield projections. The numbers will not stop falling. She types, deletes, tries again. The old analogies swirl. Tambora, 1816, the year without a summer. But this is no volcanic winter. The sun itself is fading. In the oceans, plankton die first. The sea turns clear, then barren. Fisheries collapse almost overnight. By day 40, ships return empty, their holds echoing. The food chain snaps. Hunger riots break out in Lagos, Karachi, Sao Paulo. Governments ration what little remains. The world's scientists search for answers, but none fit. The sun should not change, not in a million years. Yet the evidence is everywhere. Brown fields, silent oceans, empty markets. Feeding the planet is no longer possible. The old world is ending. Day 40, 12%. The world's power grids groan under the weight of endless night. In New York, transformers explode as desperate families plug in every electric heater they own. Blackouts ripple from city to city. Engineers rotate rolling outages, but the grid was never built for this kind of cold. In Moscow, the metro tunnels become makeshift shelters. In Lagos, the last generators sputter out. Hospitals ration the final tanks of diesel. The wind outside howls, carrying the scent of frost and something metallic. Day 50. The highways clog with cars and trucks, engines idling for warmth. Borders dissolve into chaos. Europe's Schengen zone collapses as nations throw up razor wire. On the U.S. southern border, tens of millions push north, chasing rumors of food convoys and working power. In the Arctic, entire towns abandon their homes, heading south on foot, wrapped in blankets and plastic. Day 70, 20%. The temperature has dropped 12 degrees Celsius. Plankton are gone from the oceans. The water turns glassy and empty, whale carcasses drifting in silence. Fishing fleets are mothballed. The world's last fresh produce spoils in empty supermarkets. A morgue attendant in Sao Paulo counts bodies by flashlight. There's no more dry ice, no more space. He tapes names to the walls. By morning, the city's water pipes have frozen. He leaves the door unlocked and walks into the blue dawn, breath fogging in the air. A micro-explainer flashes. 20% less sunlight means 12 degrees colder, enough to erase summer from the planet. The migration becomes a flood. Governments declare martial law. Satellites show the dark shapes of millions moving across the continents, searching for anything that still grows, still burns, still lives. Day 180. The numbers freeze. 42% of the sun's energy is gone. The temperature outside Reykjavik stands at minus 32 degrees Celsius. For 10 days, the data refuses to budge. Across the world, radiometers and satellite sensors agree. No drift, no error, just a flat line at the abyss. The Icelandic coordinator, Asgeir Johnson, watches the graphs with hollow eyes. He calls for another round of error bar analysis. Teams rerun calibrations, swap out sensors, compare the last 5 decades of solar records. The verdict: the plateau is real. No instrument failure, no cosmic dust, no hidden sunspots. The sun's output sits at 42%, holding the world hostage. A micro-explainer flashes. At this level, the planet is locked in darkness and cold, every living system on pause. Each day, scientists count the decimals, searching for the first hint of change. But the abyss holds steady. Day 200. The plateau breaks. For the first time in months, the radiometers tick upward. 41%. The change is small, just a few watts per square meter, but every decimal is checked, rechecked, and confirmed by every instrument still running. By day 220, the sun brightens further, 38%. The data holds across TSIS-1, Virgo, and the battered ground stations that survived the worst of the cold. Engineers run redundancy tests, swap out sensors, and recalibrate, but the trend is undeniable. The sun is coming back. Dr. Sarah Chen sits in the Mauna Loa control room, breath held, watching the numbers climb. Her voice, caught on a shortwave interview, is raw, and she says, "We don't know why it's happening, but we see it. The sun is waking up." By day 250, 30% of the sun's energy is still missing, but the upward slope is steady. For the first time in nearly a year, scientists and survivors alike allow themselves a breath. Across the world, a cautious relief takes hold. The long darkness is ending. The sun's silence rewrote every certainty. Stars, stable for eons, can flicker without warning. Civilization now lives with one eye on the light, knowing tomorrow is never promised. Every sunrise is a gift, fragile as breath. Subscribe for more cosmic disasters.